Okay, so we're back again with Ernst Wilhelm. In fact, we didn't quit talking. We thought this might be interesting to share with you all. We're discussing the idea of the nakshatras and whether planets are in mineral, plant, or animal nakshatras, and how that reveals what a person needs to be healthier and to thrive in life. So what we were just talking about, Ernst, you mentioned the mineral nakshatra and what people need with that. So go ahead.
Yeah, so we were talking about if we have a weak planet, an afflicted planet. So that might be a planet that's low in Digbala, low in Uchabala, low in Chestabala, especially Digbala, a planet that's really low in Shadbala, a planet that's really in bad avastas, like really starved. So any like afflicted or weak planet. A starved planet's afflicted, a planet low in Shadbala, a planet low in Ishta or low in Digbala, that's a weak planet. Okay, whether you're weak or under attack, you're gonna have trouble with that planet, right? So if you look at those planets, you'll find them in a animal, plant, or mineral nakshatra. If it's in a mineral nakshatra, the person is feeling incapable. They don't feel capable. They feel like something in them is missing.
Like they're not supported.
There's a part that, and they'll feel like something's missing. They're very conscious of the things they lose, because everything they lose is one less thing they have to get through life. They want things in life to be supported by them. So when in their relationship, they're in love because of the support. With their parents, they need their parents for support. They need people in their lives, they need things in their life to support them, to give them structure, to make them feel like they can do things. And this works out really funny lots of times. Like lots of times a person might have a child, and as long as that child's there, they're doing things because the child, just the fact that they have the child there, fires them up to think they can do something. Right. But when the child's gone, they don't do as much. Okay, so they need the support, something to help them do things. And they're always looking for something to make them feel more solid inside. Like minerals are solid usually, right? They're building blocks. So a person feels like they're missing an essential component, an essential building block. So they're constantly looking for that in other people or other things. So everything is a support issue, meaning with this, I'm capable. Without this, I'm not capable. That's what their reality, that planet's reality will feel like. And so these people have to learn to develop their own inner capabilities. They need to learn, instead of reaching for support externally, but to do two things: develop their weaknesses, to get stronger within themselves, to get stronger in their talents, just to get more solid in anything they do, basically. Okay. And they'll literally lose supportive things in their life at times when the divine plan wants them to get more solid with their own life, with themselves, okay, with respect to their integrity. So a person who's got really good planets in mineral nakshatras, on the other hand, they're going to feel very capable. These are the people that just feel so capable. They might not even be that skilled. It's the feeling. They feel really capable. Whereas a person with planets in, some afflicted planets in, the mineral nakshatras, they won't feel capable even if they are. So it's not saying they're not capable, but they certainly will not feel it. And so there's this constant need to make up, to acquire, to have, to hold things that make them feel like they can get through the day. I need money to get through the day. I need a person to get through the day. I need this life insurance, not this medical insurance to get through the day. I need something as a bolster to support me to get through the day, to get through life.
Right.
Okay.
And so with that, you're saying they need to work on the inner support. So it wouldn't be like, if I have a friend who's just gone through some issues of loss, I wouldn't say to myself, gee, maybe I should go spend time with this friend because they have those issues with the mineral nakshatra and that would make them feel better. I should say, just toughen up. Is that what you're getting at here?
Yeah. Ultimately, as a friend, you'd want to be with them just enough to brush them with the idea, time to toughen up, dude, and give them that, okay, I'm going to toughen up feeling, you don't want to just neglect them.
Right.
You want to say the 2 or 3 sentences that make them go, all right, I'm going to toughen up here.
Okay, great. All right. So the mineral nakshatras, plants and mineral nakshatras, good summary. So then we've got plant and animal.
Okay. So if we got one of those weak afflicted plants in an animal nakshatra, then a person will usually feel victimized, or they'll be victimizing other people.
Okay.
So they'll be the people always after people, always demanding people, or people are always feeling like someone's after them, someone's always victimizing them.
Right.
There'll be this consciousness of people are aggressing upon me, people are taking advantage of me, people are doing this to me, or I'm not able to get this from this person's not doing what they're supposed to do for me, but there's this kind of quarreling going on. It's other people against me. It's not even other people, it can be other forces against me. It can be every time I, want to take my boat out, it rains. It's like God wants to kill me. And not, like they're in direct conflict with God's dominating their lives, and unless they can beat God arm wrestling, they're never going to be able to go take their boat out on the lake,
Right.
So there's this idea of conflict of two forces, one that's more powerful than them, that's not letting them have the life they live.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with that,
live the life they want.
Conflict is the key, but it's also projection, because it's always I'm in here and there's something else out there, correct?
Yes, it's always a projection. There's a force stronger than me that's dominating me.
Okay. All
okay.
Right.
Versus working with all the forces, in a healthy way. Okay. What a quality of a dominant force, and a natural quality of a dominant force, a healthy quality of a dominant force, is to take care of the weaker forces.
Okay.
That's why parents take care of their children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the parents are the dominant force. And so with everything, it's like this. Why? Because the dominant force needs the other force. It needs the less dominant force, the submissive force, right?
Right.
Because as humans, we're talking about animal nakshatras. Animals need the weaker to, grow up to be stronger and to propagate. It's all part of it. Like even the sexual act is an act of dominance in nature. These are animal nakshatras.
Like how the egg needs the chicken.
What?
Like how the egg needs the chicken.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Not really. But like if you watch animals in nature, it's a very dominant, sex is all about dominance. The dominant male, is always an act or right, something where the male has to prove its dominance in order to have the sexual act. That's healthy because that increases the survival of the species and increases the well-being of the species. Human species, we've gotten to the point now where men no longer have to prove themselves as a dominant male to impregnate a woman. They can just, let's all get drunk, let's have sex, and you have a baby now, or I'm going skiing. Or I'm out of here. I'm still drinking, right?
Yeah.
We live in a culture where half the women are raising their kids alone. Okay. Because that's because they chose to have sex with a non-dominant male, with the male who's not dominant enough, who's not healthy enough
to take care of
them, right?
Right.
So there's this important need for dominance and submissiveness in life. Kids need to submit to their parents so that when they don't stick their hand in the fire and go out in the road and get ran over, right?
Right.
So it's an important quality of these animal nakshatras of dominating and submitting when it's used in a healthy way.
Right.
But when a sick planet's there, the person's not used in a healthy way, which means someone tries to help them and they feel like they're being dominated,
Right.
Or they think they're trying to help someone, but they really just need to assert themselves to dominate someone. Some people, they act like they're helping, but really they just want to prove that they exist through a dominant act. So these unhealthy animal nakshatras will have conflictual lives, and eventually they end up these planets are not friendly. They don't get along with anyone eventually. And so people eventually can feel like, all alone.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So much of human interaction is playing this dominant and submissive role healthily. And so these people need to learn how to dominate and submit in healthy ways. So there's times to dominate, there's times to submit, and there's times to do neither. These people will be stuck on doing the wrong one at the wrong time most of the time, and it'll mess up their lives. So for instance, if I'm working for someone I want to raise, I want my boss to give me a raise, I need to submit to my boss. I have to do everything he asks, do it well, be happy when I'm doing it, and he'll go, what a great employee, he deserves a raise, right?
Right.
Some employees will go I've seen employees dominate their bosses with problematical animal nakshatras. And they go and they say, I need a raise. I'm working on this project. It's the most important project. If you don't give me a raise, I'm quitting.
Mm-hmm.
The boss is like, what can I do, right?
Right.
Because he's the guy he's charged with the project. If he leaves, they're screwed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he pushes the boss into the corner. Do you think the boss is ever going to give him the important project again?
Right.
You think the boss is just going to wait for the chance to get rid of him now?
Yeah.
So that's not the right way to get a raise, to dominate your boss. Eventually it's going to come back to you.
But what it boils down, go ahead, sorry.
So that's the unhealthy use of an animal nakshatra.
Right. And so it all comes down to appropriate use of domination.
Appropriate use of domination and submission.
And submission, right. So for example, like when I go play music on Sundays with my Irish folks, and it's my job to sort of lead the session, a healthy use of that would be to do it because, hey, that's my duty to help the session go well.
Yes.
To say, look at me, I'm the best one here, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
If you're the best one, you should be in the dominant position.
Right. Okay.
And all the other animals should bow down, right?
Well, but not for the sake of bowing down, just to make sure that things go well.
Just to make sure it's the best for everybody.
Right, exactly.
Because it's best for everybody if the alpha leads, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a wolf pack.
Mm-hmm.
Other wolves challenge the alpha wolf because it's good for them.
Mm.
If he wins, it's good for them to submit to him. It increases their happiness and it increases their survival chances, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the wolf challenges the alpha wolf, gets beat, and then instead of submitting decides to go live alone, he's going to die.
Right.
It's not good for him. So there's a time where it's better for everyone if we submit to the stronger, the smarter. But no one's stronger and smarter with everything.
Right.
So when the wolf meets the lion, he doesn't try to become the alpha lion, right?
Right. Exactly.
He doesn't submit to the lion either because the lion won't take care of him in a way that will serve him well. He just ignores the lion and leaves.
Right.
So sometimes we need to do that. We don't need to get into a dominant submissive thing. We just ignore it because it's just the wrong situation, right?
Right.
And yeah, a lot of people get offended. A lot of people have such a submissive quality that even when they could be the alpha in a situation, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
They might be the smartest person in the room, and they're not talking about, their experiences of a nakshatra or Mars Saturn conjunction, even though they know more than anyone else, because they're too submissive.
Mm-hmm.
So and of course these people will feel unhappy as a result. I had something to offer. I could be an alpha for 5 minutes and I didn't.
Right.
So they'll have these problems with dominance and submissive, and these people oftentimes feel very attacked in life.
Mm-hmm.
They literally feel very attacked in life by other people, like they're being pushed around, bullied, attacked, and it can be really hard.
So all the people who are against tropical Vedic astrology think we're trying to overrun them. They might have some issues with Jiva Nakshatras.
The people who feel attacked.
Right, the attacked.
The ones who feel attacked by it are going to have animal nakshatras.
Interesting.
But if they're defending their sidereal, they could be defending their sidereal in other ways. Uh-huh. But the more a person's into it, to making a fool of themselves, the more we know they have a planet that's struggling in some nakshatra.
Right. Okay, great. So that's a good little assessment of the animal nakshatra. So that leaves a plant nakshatra.
Okay, plant. And actually, one of the most crazy people I ever saw about the zodiacs was a guy out of India who was using tropical. And the crazy things this would say, just the sheer chaos this guy was causing trying to push the tropical zodiac was more than anything we saw last summer with the siderealists being mad at the tropical. And this guy, he was way out of control. And he didn't serve the tropical world well at all, Mm-hmm. Making a fool of yourself never serves anyone well, anything well, right?
Right.
Okay, so, all right, so then we got the plants.
Plants.
Okay, if we have a weak planet in a plant nakshatra, what plant nakshatras are, they're sensitive to what's good for them, and they're not sensitive, and what's bad for them. Like a plant is reaching for the sky, right? And when he reaches towards the sun, he feels the sun, he goes, that's what I need, and he grows that way. Mm-hmm. When he feels the shadow of another tree, he goes, oh, I don't need that. Let me find the sun. So plants are sensitive to what nourishes them and what doesn't. The roots are doing the same thing, finding the soil that nourishes them, mm-hmm. finding the soil with the right moisture content, the right acidic content. And so plant nakshatras are the parts of us that help us feel and go towards what nourishes us.
Right.
This I know this is healthy for me, so I'm just going to gravitate towards it. That's what a plant nakshatra does.
Right.
Okay. Now, when a planet's weak or sick or afflicted in a plant nakshatra, a person no longer can perceive that correctly. So one way that'll manifest is they'll be oversensitive to anything that's remotely irritating.
Interesting. Okay.
So super oversensitive. So even if they're in a good situation, well, let's face it, it's a good situation on Earth, which means a lot of the situation sucks and is stressful, is no fun, right? But their oversensitivity will make that 25% feel like 75%. And so they'll leave it. Oh, I can't deal with this job. You're like, well, I would kill for that job.
Right.
I can't deal with this spouse. What? I would kill for a spouse that good, you know, says the healthy person. But they're so sensitive that little things which aren't enough.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, little things. Your computer is very sensitive. I think your computer's in a plant nakshatra. You bought it in a plant nakshatra with Saturn, Rahu, and Moon there, right?
No, what happens is I have a light behind my computer, and my cats have an automatic feeder, and it just called them to feeding, and it was right by the light, and I was ready for everything to explode, but it didn't, so we're good.
Okay. All right, so the plant nakshatras, when they're unhealthy, when there's an unhealthy plant there, they become oversensitive. And then eventually they don't get what they need to grow. So say the plant's reaching towards the soil and it's like a little more acidic than ideal for that plant. But it still has the water and the calcium and the iron and the nitrogen it needs. But it goes, ooh, this is a little over-acidic, so I'm going to withdraw from that and not get any calcium, no nitrogen, and no water.
Right.
That's what happens to plant people. It's like, well, there's a little bit of something here that's not right, so I'm going to ignore all the good things that would help my life go. And so these people, they start wilting. Their life literally can start wilting, like a plant that's not getting nourished. So these people have to learn to be a little less sensitive usually. Okay. Be a little tougher. Take a little more risk. You know, go out of their comfort zone more. So these planets in these nakshatras just feel very vulnerable. They feel very sensitive. They feel very delicate. And it doesn't take much to make them feel like they're in the wrong place. So these people need to look at things always, understand that it's going to feel worse than it is to them. And they need to say, okay, it feels worse than it is. So my job is to just choose the best situation.
Right.
Even though the best situation is going to feel a little more painful than I want it to be. But I'm going to choose the best available one.
Right.
Because their tendency is to withdraw from even the best available one and then not get anywhere. So the plant, he has to sink his roots into the best available soil he has, right?
Right.
Even if it's not perfect, a healthy plant keeps working through that soil. One day he'll get to better soil, right? So this isn't the best possible job, but it's a job that pays the bills. So you put up with it until you get this experience to get a better job, right? That makes sense, duh. But a sick plant nakshatra is like, ooh, there's no way I can handle this job. I'm quitting after a week or a month. Before they even get the experience to get the next job. And now the people look at their resume and say, you've had 20 jobs in 2 years. Why? Tell me why I want to hire you. Because you're 45 now, you're not even good looking. You know, you have nothing to offer me, you know? And so one day they have nothing and then their lives just wilt.
So, okay, so with the plants, it's about sensitivity and overcoming the oversensitive so that you can actually get the things that you need.
Yes.
With the animals, the Jiva Nakshatra, it's about learning to have a proper expression of submission, domination, and sort of avoiding conflicts in those ways.
Yeah.
And then with the mineral, the Dhatu, the Dhatu Nakshatra, that's about learning to develop inner strength and support so that you don't necessarily need it from everyone else around you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then I was going to say, and then to see whether these are afflicted plants or not, we're really looking at the Digbala, the Cheshtabala, Uchabala, and also seeing if there's other avashas to see if there are problems with that planet in the first place, right?
Yes, and here's the thing. That I've been finding in our experiences for medical cases that afflictions to the Lagna Lord tend to bring out a very, consistent problem of that nakshatra. So that's often the bottom line of a lot of their problems is that the nakshatra of their Lagna Lord if their Lagna Lord has afflictions on it. So that's a good planet to start with. Look at your Lagna Lord, see if it's afflicted. If it is, some of that animal, mineral, or plant thing is definitely going to be part of your struggle.
Okay.
And that lots of times I think might be the first one to tackle, unless there's something else that's there really seriously. But I'm just finding time after time that, wow, the Lagna Lord mineral is the energy, and the Lagna Lord nakshatra is the energy, if it's afflicted, is the energy that's out of balance, or a planet in the Lagna.
Okay.
And I'm just finding time after time, they say it in the books, oh, the Lagna is the most important thing. You're like, yeah, but there's all these other things. Come on. But I find time after time, the Lagna Lord. If there's good yogas in the Lagna Lord, it makes up for a lot of bad yogas. If there's bad yogas in the Lagna Lord, the good yogas are sort of like lost in space. They don't belong to that person. It all starts, all the yogas in your chart start on you, which is your Lagna and Lagna Lord. And so problems with those planets, those nakshatras are going to play a huge part of the problems we have. And one other thing I want to say about the animal nakshatra, just to get this clear. I think people have forgotten the importance of submission in modern society. Everyone feels like they have to be the boss. It's like, why? What does being the boss really get me other than a lot of stress lots of times? We should work towards a harmonious experience of life, of making it as much of a win-win situation for everybody, which means there is time for everyone to submit. There is time for everyone to dominate, But let's look at it in the context of a holistic experience that makes the world a better place. Whereas now this idea of dominance is like this egocentric thing. It's like animals don't fight to prove who's got it. They don't have pissing contests. Animals fight for territory so their young will survive. So if the stronger one wins, well, obviously he's stronger, his kids will be stronger, so they should have the territory, right? But they don't just go have pissing contests to show who's got the bigger ego. Only humans fight on that level. So we need to let go of that and say, okay, what's really best for a holistic experience and for making the world a better place? And if submitting makes the world a better place, I'm going to submit. If being dominant makes the world a better place, even if I want to just hide, I'm going to go out there and kick some ass sometimes. That's how we need to work with these animal nakshatras.
Okay, excellent.
And here's the other thing. The Rahu nakshatra is a nakshatra that we're commonly allergic to. Meaning we don't really want to go there usually. If we go there, sometimes people will go to it there more than others, but the general thing is there's a little bit of an allergy towards going towards the Rahu nakshatra. It feels foreign to the person. If people do get into it, they usually get into it in excessive ways, in imbalanced ways if they get into it before 42, okay? Before Rahu's matured. So keep that in mind too.
Okay, well that brings up other questions, but we'll save those for another time.
I'm hungry, I gotta go eat.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, thanks Ernst for filling us in on that. And if you want to learn more about Ernst's work, it's Vedic-astrology.net, correct?
Yeah, or astrologyvideos.com is where most of the stuff is now.
And is it astrology-videos.com?
Yes, astrology-videos.
Okay, all right.
And of course, I'll be doing an extensive nakshatra course and extensive Rahu Ketu course later on in 2018.
Okay, so
that should be like, I think, my most exciting year of teaching so far.
Good. Maybe you've heard it here first. I don't know, but if not.
Yeah, we already did. We already started.
That's right.
I'm letting the cat out of the bag all over the place.
All right, well, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.